Hello friend, through my today's video what I'm trying to bring it to you a little bit of history and little bit of geography. The continent what I have chosen today is Europe. The Europe history as you know it's very complicated and it's kind of very bloody. What we are going to see today is trace throughout of the history and see how the geography of Europe changing is different period of time and what is a milestone and what different events has affected it. So let's just start. On the screen, what you are seeing right now, it's the is the map of modern Europe. What you can the Europe, if you see it, you can say it's divided in three part. You can or four part. You can take. There are Northern Europe, and then there are Western Europe, and there are Southern and Eastern Europe. So if you see in this map, these area are called Northern Europe, where you have Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and then you have Baltic country which contains Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. Then you have Western Europe. Western Europe, you can take it from the line what I have drawn just now. Western Europe contains Germany, United Kingdom, Iceland, France, Spain, Italy, not Italy, you can say Switzerland, Austria, Czech Republic. These countries comes more or less comes under the Western Europe, and then you have Southern Europe, or let's just draw with a different color. So that's your Southern Europe, where you have Italy, you have Greece, you have Albania, and then you have Eastern Europe, where most of the countries like Poland, Ukraine, Romania, Hungary, Bulgaria, Serbia, all these countries comes under Eastern Europe. Why I'm talking about different part of Europe, northern, eastern, southern, and western, we will see that how these geography has impacted European history throughout the time. So we will start with the Holy Roman Empire. So before going through different history, so I'll just talk about different events which actually impacted Europe, a boundary of European map. Uh, the main among this, I'm not going to go very back in time. I'm going to go back in modern European history only. But I just wanted to talk a little bit of the medieval history so that it will help us to understand how it is impacting. So if we divide it in different parts, so what all main event which has impacted drawing and redrawing of geography of history, the first and foremost is Holy Roman Empire. And then after the Holy Roman Empire was established and disintegrated, uh, another event which impacted it a lot was unification of Germany. So German was a German empire which was never one static country. So its unification had very profound impact on European history and how the European border was redrawn. After German unification, the next very big impact which had on European boundary was World War One. So we all know World War One has a profound impact on how European boundary was redrawn, and we will see how it had happened. After World War One, we had again creation of Soviet Union, where different similar minded country which were communist country came together to create Soviet Union. That also impacted boundary of Europe. After creation of Soviet Union, next big event was World War II, which again impacted boundary of Europe and how it is today. So after World War II, the next big impact what happened on European boundary was disintegration of Soviet Union in 1991. We will talk about that also. After disintegration of Soviet Union, the main impact, the last one which actually redraw the Europe map was Yugoslavia war. So how Yugoslavia disintegrated and what happened, that had the major impact on the boundary of Europe that we are seeing today. That is all the main event what I have described. This is in chronological order, that has major impact on boundary of Europe. So we will go through each and every of these events and try to find out what is unique across it, and why it has impacted Europe in the major way. The first one, which comes in the Holy Roman Empire, we will see into that why Holy Roman Empire has impacted European history. So, as you are seeing on the screen, Holy Roman Empire was developed during Middle Age, which yeah. It was developed during the Middle Ages and continued till its dissolution in 1806. So, largest empire under it was Germany. Germany, what we see today, and it also contained a kingdom of Bohemia, which is again part of Germany, and Italy, and then kingdom of Italy. So Holy Roman Empire, at the starting it was a sovereign state, but later on it was a combination of different nation state and different small power and big power, and one sovereign ruler which held supreme power inherited their power from ancient emperor of Rome. So it was never a nation state as we see the nation concept of nation state today. It was basically a combination of different empires, different small and big states, which clubbed together to create this Holy Roman Empire, which was continuance of the Roman Empire, Roman dynasty, which at the from the ancient Europe. So if you see the Holy Roman Empire, you will see it was created in around 900, and you will see throughout the history as it moved, it actually got bigger. When at earlier, if you see, it only contained Germany and Italy, some northern Italy and Austria. But later on, as it moves, it consumed more states from the Eastern Europe, where Germany and then Italy and then other like Austria-Hungary Empire, all these came under Roman Empire. You will see throughout the till 1300, the boundary of Roman Empire was actually increasing, but after 1300 it started decreasing. Then Italy, at first Italy was the first to leave the empire, and Italy that time was divided into multiple states, and they started moving out of this Roman Empire. By 1648, it was mainly composed of what you see today as Germany and Austria. And by 1806, it actually disintegrated. It actually remained just the Germany and few peripheral state, and after then it disintegrated. So this is how Holy Roman Empire, why it is important in European history, because it actually created a sense of Germanic state, which is called German Empire, and later on, this is what when after the unification of Germany, this is what became a modern German state. Now the next big event which actually impacted European redrawing of European border is German unification. So Germany was never a nation state as you see today till 1871. It composed of different small powers like Prussia, then you have Holstein, you have Bavaria, you have Saxony, you have Westphalia. So these kind these were the small and bigger state. Like Prussia was very big state, which composed of Germany, but Germany was never a nation state ruled by one emperor or ruled by central government. So the first unification, the first how the Germany was created. It was created by Julius Caesar when he named the region east of Rhine River to distinguish it from the Gaul. The Gaul, what you see is the French state today, what is called the France today. So that is how the Germany was named. But Germany remained divided throughout the history till the Frederick the Great came. The Frederick the Great was the king of Prussia who unified many small states, but he was also not able to unify Germany's state. He was able to extend the border of Prussia. Then came the Bismarck. Bismarck is credited with unification of Germany. Bismarck went to war with Austria, and he was victorious in that war, and it allowed to forge Bismarck to unify all northern Germany state. So that was the first part for Germany unification. Bismarck united northern Germany state, and after then he went with war with France. So Bismarck engineered a diplomatic crisis over succession of Spanish throne to goad the French into declaring war on Prussia. And he was winner. He was victorious in Franco-Prussian War. It was disaster for France, but it was very uh, and he actually overtook the region Alsace and Maine from France in that war, and it extended Germany boundary, and it also as well united Germany. And Wilhelm I was declared the king of the united Germany. So now on your screen, what you are seeing is a different, before unification of Germany, you can see the big empire of Austria, which was very big empire that time. It was the biggest in Europe. And then you in Germany, what by red you can see, this is the red boundary. This is the modern Germany boundary. We have biggest empire in Germanic state was Kingdom of Prussia, which is shown in yellow. Then we have Bavaria. We have Holstein, which was a small kingdom. One little tidbit about Holstein is that Holstein, uh, Catherine the Great, the Empress of Russia, came from Holstein. She was the princess of Holstein. So this is how your modern Germany state boundary was created after unification of different small state and bigger state. It also carved out from Empire of France, and then some from Empire of Austria, and some from your France. So this is the Kaiser Empire, which Bismarck actually carved for Kaiser Wilhelm the First. This is the German Empire. You had Prussia, Bavaria, and some part of Austrian Empire after winning the war from Austria. So unification of Germany is major event in history of Europe, which actually defined European boundaries, and after then it impacted how the history is going to uh, reshape in next 30 to 40 years. So 1871 Germany was unified. Bismarck was architect of that, and after then Germany emerged as a very powerful state. It was very big state, and it, through its economic progress, it actually had become very powerful in Europe. By 1914, before the World War One, Germany was in state which it actually threatened both Russian Empire. As you can see, the Russian Empire east of it, and west of it the France. It threatened both, and as a result of that, different treaty signed between different country to contain the rise of Germany. So we will see how the boundary was before first World War One, and how boundary reshaped after World War One in next. Now, what you are seeing on the screen is Europe before World War One. As you can see, there is German Empire, there is France, there is Austria-Hungary Empire, and then there is Russian Empire. That's the main participant, or that's the main player in World War One. So how this geography, what you are seeing on the screen, impacted, and how it actually created a condition for World War One. So that I'm going to explain to you that what happened and why World War One was fought. I'm not going into very detail. I'm just analyzing it from the perspective of boundaries and geography, and how it is impacting. Not detail of that. That will take another session and another day. So look into the Austria-Hungary Empire. So by the World War One, which happened started in 1914, your Ottoman Empire, this part, which is Turkey in present day. It was a big empire before, I mean, from starting from 17th to 18th century. It started disintegrating uh, with the advent of 20th century. When Ottoman Empire started disintegrating, it contained many countries from these areas. So when it started disintegrating, bigger country fought to take their pie, like Austria-Hungary. It took up Bosnia-Herzegovina and Croatia. Then we have bigger state like Bulgaria here, Romania here, who also, and Greece here, who also wanted to take up some country which is coming out of disintegration of Ottoman Empire. So this was the area which is called the Balkan, and the Balkan is was called the powder cake of Europe at 1912. This was the area, this was the place which was ready to burst at any, even at the smallest provocation. So that was happening at the Europe at 1912, around 1912 and 13. Already two Balkan War happened at 1912 and 13, where Greece, Bulgaria and Serbia fought each other. So what is the issue that I'll tell here? Serbia, what you can see here, wanted to acquire Bosnia, Herzegovina and Croatia. There are substantial Serb population in these countries, but Austria-Hungary has captured it after the disintegration of Ottoman Empire. And Serbia was not happy about it and wanted to take up these countries where they have substantial and very Serb population in these countries. Now, Austria-Hungary had treaty with German Empire, and Serbia has treaty with Russian Empire. So, when What happened? Austrian Duke came to Bosnia Herzegovina at 1914, and he was assassinated by Serbian nationalists. Austria was Now, it is pretty obvious that Austria will be angry on Serbia, though Serbia denied that it was involved in assassination of Duke. Austria put very stringent term of Serbia. If they don't follow, they will attack on that. That was the starting of World War One. When Austria invaded Serbia, Russia was at Serbia's side and Germany was at Austria's side, and this is how this got started. Now let's see the alliances between the Europe before. What you are seeing in yellow was actually your triple entity between United Kingdom, France and Russia. That was your triple entity. Then you have Central Power, which contains Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and Turkey. That is the main central power, and then you have triple entity between United Kingdom, France and Russia. So that's the two side where Russia was supporting Serbia, and since Russia has to come in aid of Serbia, so France and United Kingdom will automatically be dragged into war because of the treaty between United Kingdom, France and Russia. Similarly, Austria-Hungary, which was actually fighting with Serbia, Germany got pulled into, or Germany wanted to be pulled into this uh, war, and this is how your First World War started. So this is the scenario before First World War, and now we'll see after First World War what happened to the boundaries. So we have seen before First World War what was the map. You had German Empire, you had Austro-Hungarian Empire, France, then you have Russian Empire. This is the situation before First World War. After First World War, Russia lost heavily. They disintegrated between, then new state came up, where new state you had Poland, then Baltic country. In Baltic country you have Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia. So these four states came out of Russia after First World War. The First World War impacted Austria in biggest way. Austria was the biggest empire or biggest nation state in Europe before First World War, but after First World War, Austria disintegrated in different states, and new states like Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Yugoslavia came out of Austria. So the Yugoslavia, what you are seeing it here, it contains different states, where it contains Bosnia Herzegovina, also Serbia, Montenegro, and it has different nation state. We will see how Yugoslavia was constituted later on. So this was the impact on Austria-Hungary Empire, and there was no Austria-Hungary Empire after First World War. It different nation state came up after it, and Austrian Empire disintegrated after First World War. This was the European map after first, how it changed after First World War, and now we will see what happened after First World War, how creation of Soviet Union changed the boundary of Europe. Soviet Union was created in 1922 with the treaty which was signed by Joseph Stalin and along with Lenin. It was solidified in 1924, and when it was created, it contained Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, and Transcaucasus state. And Transcaucasus state contained modern Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan. This was these country were the initial part of Soviet Union. It was expanded later on when Central Asian territory was included in it, which contained Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan. In 1940, then Baltic Republic also joined Soviet Union, which Baltic Republic, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, and Moldova also was incorporated in 1920, bringing the total of republic to 15. The map you are seeing, it is a map of Soviet Union. You can see the Russia is the biggest part, and then you have the next biggest is Kazakhstan. Then you have Baltic country which contain Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Then you have Belarus, and next is the Ukraine. We have small country like Georgia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. And then we have next Central Asian country like Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. This contain your Soviet Union at the height of power, which contained 15 countries inside Soviet Union. Now the next big event which impacted European boundary is World War II. We all know what happened in World War II. This is not the right forum to discuss World War II, but what happened, the boundaries after then, we will discuss a little bit about that. After World War II, Germany was split into two. There was eastern part of Germany occupied by Soviet Union, and western part of Germany was occupied by Western country like US, France, and UK. Europe itself was divided in NATO and Warsaw Pact. We will see what's that and how it has impacted the boundaries. So Germany was divided into two. What you are seeing on the screen, this was the division where Eastern Germany, you have Berlin here, Western Germany. Eastern Germany was occupied by Soviet Union, not occupied, you can say it was a sphere of influence of Soviet Union, and Western Germany is sphere of influence of Western country like UK, France, and United States. Berlin itself was divided into two. You can see it here, the division between Western Berlin and Eastern Berlin. Again, the Western Berlin controlled by West Germany, and Eastern Berlin controlled by East Germany. Now the Europe is divided. There was Eastern Europe, and then you have Western Europe, what we talked earlier. And then you have few neutral countries take which did not take part in Cold War. So now Cold War has started between Soviet Union and uh, a Western country which was led by United States and contains France, Germany, Western Germany, and UK. Now what you are seeing in green on the screen is are all these countries are part of NATO, which was created by United States, and the country which in kind of red or orange is part of Warsaw Pact. So between the Warsaw Pact, you have Soviet Union, then you have Poland, you have Eastern Germany, then you have Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Romania, Bulgaria. Then Austria, Switzerland was not part of any of these two. They were neutral, and even even Sweden and Finland was not part of any pact, and Iceland. So the green one, what you see, the Portugal, Spain, France, UK, Western Germany, then your Netherlands, Belgium, Italy, Turkey, Greece were part of NATO, as well as Iceland. Now the Cold War created an Iron Curtain in Europe. It divided Europe in two parts, and the Iron Curtain, what you can see here, it divided Europe in two, where the part of this part a part for this curtain was under the influence of Soviet Union, and this side was influence of United States. This was the curtain which defined Europe between 1940, or you can say 1950 till 1991. For 40 years, Europe was divided in two parts. This part prospered in Western liberal democracy, and then this part was under communalism, and they were more or less poor part of Europe. Another curtain you can see here was divided south from north, and the south one, the Greece, Turkey, came under the US influence, and the north one, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Poland, USSR, even Yugoslavia came under the Soviet Union influence. The next big event which actually impacted the boundary of Europe in big way was breakup of Soviet Union in 1991. This was the end of Cold War and Soviet Union disintegrated where all the part broke up from, and the biggest one was the Russia. Then all other states like Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Belarus, Estonia, Latvia, Georgia, and you have Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, all those Central Asian country came out of Soviet Union. Many new states emerged. You can say 14 new states and plus Russia, 15 new states emerged after disintegration of Soviet Union. Iron Curtain was raised, and Europe actually got unified again. It was divided by Iron Curtain before in the Cold War era. After disintegration of Soviet Union, that curtain was removed, and Europe got unified with the Western Europe got unified with the Eastern Europe plus Southern Europe. The next big event which impacted boundary of Europe was Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia was broken up in between 1990 to 92. The Yugoslavia was created in 1943 during World War II by federation made of six socialist republic. That six socialist republic was Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, and Croatia, Macedonia, Slovenia, and Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, which is later on was known as Serbia and Montenegro. In 1989, what you can see, it was one Yugoslavia. It was whole, where different country under it was. You have Serbia, Bosnia Herzegovina, different country was united under it, and Yugoslavia was one. After disintegration of Soviet Union, multiple country like Croatia, they declared independence from Yugoslavia in around 1991 and 1992. And there was a question of Bosnia and Herzegovina, which were, and then Serbia. The main issue with Yugoslavia, it was made up of different nationalities and different races. It was mixture of, and they were not united. So after disintegration of Soviet Union, civil war started, where each country either declared independence, and or some country like Serbia who wanted to control some part of Croatia, because Croatia has in minority around 10 to 15% of Serbian population. So all these evolved into conflict, and the war went into 3 years, and it was ultimately after then when United Nations intervened, mainly led by US, then this was resolved. So after the end of the war, these new nations came up in Serbia. Sorry, in Yugoslavia. After disintegration of Yugoslavia, you have Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro, Kosovo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Croatia. So this sealed the European border what we see as today. Now we have seen how European boundary, what it is there at present in modern Europe, has come into place after different conflict, different war and different treaties. Now the next is creation of European Union. European Union was created, what you can see on the screen. All these highlighted in yellow color are part of European Union. The main missing what you can see here is Norway, and then this Balkan country and Switzerland. So every European country are part of European Union, but the main missing is Norway, Switzerland and the Balkan country. And you can say Turkey also. So these all are the candidate country where you have Iceland, which are awaiting the membership, Montenegro, Serbia, Turkey and Macedonia, which is the Balkan country we saw is as at present is missing. The next is the Eurozone. We know that all the European countries are not part of Euro, which is common currency. So Eurozone is consisted of 27 countries, and in the map you can see again the Norway and Sweden are missing. Norway anyway is not part of European Union, but Sweden is part of European Union but not part of Euro. You have Finland, then you have Baltic country which is Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and you have Greece, Cyprus. Cyprus is the newest addition in Eurozone. Then you see the missing UK, but again UK is out of European Union also now. And then Ireland is part of uh, Eurozone, and then you have Portugal, Spain, France. Basically, all continental European countries are part of Eurozone except for Switzerland. Now we have seen how the boundary of Europe was defined and redefined, and what was the different important event which played the very intricate part in redefining these boundaries. So just to give a brief and summary, we started with Holy Roman Empire and how it impacted European boundaries. It consists of many states, mainly of Germany, Italy, and Bavaria. But after then, it got disintegrated. Then, the latest event, the main event which came was the unification of Germany, which redefined boundary of Europe. The next was World War One, which actually redefined it in a very big way when Austria Empire was disintegrated and many new states came out of it. Similarly, even many states came out of Russia. The next was creation of Soviet Union when many state came together to create a Soviet Union. Ultimately, at its height of power, it consisted of 15 countries. The next event, what redefined the boundary, was World War II when Germany was divided in West Germany and East Germany. And after World War II, around 40 years Cold War happened when Europe was divided through Iron Curtain, and west of Iron Curtain was influence of United States and east of Iron Curtain was influence of Soviet Union. These all changed when Soviet Union disintegrated. Before disintegration of Soviet Union, Germany got reunified and became one, Eastern and Western Germany. Then when Soviet Union got disintegrated, other 14 countries came out of it, along with Russia, which is 15 countries. And after disintegration of Soviet Union, one event triggered which started civil war in Yugoslavia, and then Yugoslavia also disintegrated and came out with the 6 new countries. So all these even redefine the border of Europe, and the Europe what we see today is culmination of the all these events spread over different periods. This is what I wanted to talk about. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, uh, I would request you to subscribe my channel, and I'll come up with more in future. The next what I wanted to bring is uh, boundary of Africa and how throughout the history its boundary was created. And we are going to talk more, and I'm going to bring out more lecture on economics. Good day, goodbye. Thank you.